Welcome to another AMA with Kadena Project Network. In this episode, we will be speaking with the team from Miners of Kadenia. This conversation was recorded on June 22nd, 2022, live on Twitter Spaces. The views and expression in this AMA do not represent the views of KPN directly and are not to be considered as financial advice. Please make sure to do your own research on the projects presented. Also make sure to follow our account to be alerted of new uploads. Now let's get started. Enjoy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another AMA hosted by KPN. Just waiting for our other members to join in. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully everyone's having a good day today. Just getting everything all set up here. Make sure if you want to be joining the conversation to just send a request to speak and we will get you in on board. Hopefully everyone's having a good day today. How you guys all doing today? Welcome, welcome. Oh, feel like if you go right ahead and send me a request to speak if you want to step up. We'll get this ball rolling. Very excited to talk to the Miners of Kadenia. I always try to forget to throw in the "ia" at the end. Want to make sure you establish the name, right? I'm accepting the invite, but it just does not want to seem to give you the right to speak. Oh, there we go.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh,
I'm connected.
there we go.
How you doing?
Yeah, Twitter Spaces can be kind of wonky for that. I wish Twitter would just go ahead and just port the Android app over to a Windows app, and then we could do this on desktops. It'd be so much better.
I never had a Windows app, to be honest. Or what do you mean,
well,
like an Android phone?
Well, right now with the new Windows 11, you can actually pretty much port an Android application into what they call now a Windows application, and then they have it in their like Windows App Store where you could then use it on desktop.
Wow, that sounds fancy and complicated. I have no idea how to do it. And shall we wait until more people join us? I mean, what? We're only like 8 people.
Sure, yeah, we can just sit here and chat for a bit.
Chatting sounds perfect to me. And Chris, it's Kadenia. Miners of
Kadenia.
Kadenia.
Yeah, I always forget the "ia" at the end.
Well, yeah, it basically depends on how you say Kadena and how accustomed you are to say Kadena, right? Because when you suddenly see the I over there, it's like it mind blows, right? You have no idea how to accept that. And Adam, can we tweet about this and try to get a few more people, maybe from the groups or the entire raids that we have suffered today from all of those call groups people?
Yeah, get some more. Definitely try to get some more people in. I'll get more people to speak up to chat for sure.
Definitely. How you doing,
Kadena
Chris?
fam,
How's everything?
I'm doing quite well.
Awesome.
Doing quite well. Just still getting myself affiliated with the whole group of the whole Kadena ecosphere. So many projects. Just like every day, there's a new project popping out out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it's great to see
right now starting out to explode, and it's fun, right? Especially being in this period of time where everybody's so scared, and we're just building and we're having fun, right? And we're innovating and doing some cool stuff. Yeah, it's awesome.
I've just sent in a tweet out anyway, by the way.
Perfect. Yeah, this kind of a slow, bearish market where everyone's scared to invest really shows the true projects who are just put their head down and bear through it and just work. And that's what you need, right? You need to just forget about the market. The market will come around. If you've been in the crypto long enough, at least a couple of years, you'll know that it's all cycles. It'll come back around. Just got to wait it out.
I've been way too long in crypto to be excited about stuff. Honestly.
Yeah, I've been in it since just before the last big 2017-18 rush, and just watching all the ups and downs since then. It's just price change doesn't really affect me anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean, once you've gone through the turmoils of the ETH DAO hack, nothing is gonna surprise or scare you anymore.
Yeah.
That was.
I've been lucky that I was very much ingrained from the very first time when my uncle, who got me into crypto, he was very much your keys, your coins. Do not keep any money on anything centralized ever. He ingrained that to me right from day one. And for that very reason, I don't think I've ever actually, I've never used Bittrex. I've never used any major exchange like that in my entire time in crypto.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah. That's the way the people have to learn, right? That's the way blockchain is going to move forward, is the people stepping up and taking the responsibility. They have to realize, I worked also for a year and a bit doing customer support for a crypto company, and talking to actual users and stuff. And a lot of them can't get past the whole, you are 100% in control and also responsible for your wallet and all of that kind of stuff. So if you send money to a scammer, there's nothing anyone can do about that,
Oh yeah.
Things like that. It's so hard for people to get that into that kind of thought into their mind, because they're just so used to the centralized, someone's got my back and can help me kind of space that the banks provide. But as we're seeing worldwide, the fiat currency is on its way out, so it's best to hedge somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And right now, crypto and silver and gold.
Yeah, kind of. And even if people don't see right now that crypto acts as a store of value, they're just not looking properly enough, right? They probably do not understand the long-term implications of what's currently happening, the supply shocks, the massive inflation. I mean, UK just right now announced their inflation, right? What is it, about 9.1? 9%? Wow.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, that's not even the real inflation. It must be about 11, 12% minimum.
Oh, easily. You also have to take in the whole, part of the sanctions with Russia and stuff over there, and all of that's the effect that's going to have on the cost of energy costs and things like that. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, it's definitely a bad situation financially that the world is heading towards, and that's where we need to bring the light with crypto and be like, hey, people, little salvation over this way. Come over here. Save yourself before it's too late. Yeah, and people that don't understand people that don't see crypto as a good way, especially Bitcoin and these very decentralized, finite supply things, if they don't see the store of value in that, then they definitely don't even understand how fiat money even works to begin with. They don't understand that their money is literally printed from thin air and there'll never be a cap supply. It's infinite. And if they want to completely ruin it, they can completely ruin it with the printing of a machine, which they've been doing the past few years. Whereas Bitcoin's 21 million coins.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to have any more. But just to add to what you were saying, just the other day, I think 2 days ago, I was with my fiance at, I think, my favorite restaurant. And somehow we got to this 30-minute long discussion about inflation and the origin of inflation and why inflation is bad. And everything revolves around, getting yourself rid of the gold standard. Because the second that you say, okay, we don't really need money to be backed by something tangible, and you're imagining, okay, I can just, flick my fingers and boom, I'm creating money. Money and value cannot just be created out of thin air. It doesn't work that way, right? And the problem, we're talking about inflation, but we're seeing the same exact problem all around crypto, mainly proof of stake blockchains. The idea that you can just magically inflate value out of nowhere, that's not a healthy sentiment.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fine line. You definitely got to do your research when it comes to crypto. Obviously, proof of work is going to be your staple way to know that it's going to be a secure thing, which makes Kadena great because it's proof of work and scalable, solves all the problems that we've had. So it's interesting to see. I think there'll be, once as the inflation throughout the world goes rampant and fiat currencies start to fall and more people move towards crypto as a store of value and things like that, we will see the true decentralized and finite proof of work type projects really pull forward ahead and leave everything else in the dust. Now there is use cases for some infinite supplies and things like that, but not as a store of supply, a store of value or anything like that. It'll never work that way.
Of course. And
then you got NFTs on top.
You do have a use case for proof of stake, just a specific use case, right?
Yes.
And hopefully not a settlement layer use case, but there's always a use case for everything as long as the value is actually honestly created. Right. And NFTs, I'm sincerely hoping that now we're going to see, as Demian calls it, the renaissance of crypto. I do hope we will see the renaissance of actual use case NFTs, being able to create awesome NFTs that actually mean something to the world and actually act as good store of value tokens rather than, by default store of value because they're not liquid.
Not just store of value, store of security. I believe that the real true use case of NFTs is going to be things like your healthcare records, your dental records, things like that, where you will be the one fully responsible and have full control over your records and be able to, like, you go into your doctor's office and there's an app that, like, it may be government ran, it may be a centralized thing, but it can still utilize blockchain, smart contracts, and NFTs to get the job done without people even knowing that that's what they're doing in the background. Simple app where you just walk in, you open up a QR code on your phone, the doctor scans it, boom, he has your records right then and there. And when he leaves and when he writes down his notes, it just automatically he just scans it back into your thing. It goes right onto the blockchain. It's immutable. It'll always be there. It can't be changed. Like, there's so much potential for NFTs outside of just the whole either store of value or store of art or anything like that.
And the ridiculous thing is, by the time we will get to that type of future, we will probably no longer call that NFTs and we will no longer call it crypto. It will just be, right? That will be the default technology that you want to use. It's not going to be something, niche. It's just going to be like it's just going to be
it'll be like the HTTP layer of the internet. Most people don't understand how it works, but all they know is the internet page that comes up and they look at it. Ooh, that's pretty, and all this stuff I can click on. But barely anyone knows exactly how the internet runs on a protocol level. That's what the future is going to be. The protocol level is going to be blockchain, but you're not even going to know that that's what it is because you're just going to be, ooh, look at this fancy app that does everything I need it to do. You don't need to know that it's using blockchain in the background. And those will be the apps that bring the future together for sure.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, it looks like we're getting a few more people in here now, so that's good. I don't know if you want to just give your usual elevator pitch of Miners of Kadenia, just to go over the project a little, just in case there's anyone here that's hasn't heard or isn't aware.
Of course. First of all, MoK to everybody. I do recognize, I think, 70% of the folks over here. Hi, everybody. Glad to have you always with us. I'm Dor. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Miners of Kadenia, also known as MoK. I'm joined by Adam Fletcher, who is our amazing community manager. MoK to you, Adam.
MoK.
Amazing. So, extremely briefly, MoK is a DeFi protocol that's presented in a gamified environment. We're taking every single thing that's good about crypto, eliminating every single thing that it's bad, in one gamified environment with one strict goal, which is pushing Kadena forward as a blockchain. How do we do that? Simple. Thank you for asking. We're creating a system in which TVL is a priority, in which integrating with the Kadena blockchain is a priority in many different types, shapes, and forms. When projects usually think, okay, of how do I build myself the best project for myself, we're thinking, how can we build the best project for Kadena? And the only way for us to do that is by actually operating and collaborating with other projects on Kadena to give them a platform to showcase what it is that they can do. And even if what it is that they do is not necessarily comfortable for the average user, we're going to make it comfortable by presenting it in a very, very slick environment so, even your niece can use it. And that is basically it. We got play to earn. We got awesome utility-based NFTs. And we pretty much will have every single thing you can dream of.
Sounds great. Kind of sounds very much in line with what we're trying to do over at KPN, of making a platform for the community to present themselves, whereas you're doing it in a DeFi, right, gamified, actual, like, people will be able to see it, physically see it, whereas we're more just like a community building network. You're going to be an actual game community building network. Sounds amazing.
Hopefully it will be. I mean, there's a lot of work to get things done perfectly and to get things done securely. But I do believe that the things that we're doing today will be used by Kadena, by investors in Kadena, and by other projects on Kadena for the next several years at the minimum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to, and that kind of ties back to what we were saying before of how we're going to progress with blockchain, of making things simple so that people don't really know exactly how it works in the background, but that it just works. Which just kind of sounds like what you guys are trying to build with this game. Something, it makes it's simple for someone to step in and do these things, because most people are scared to, you see a DEX, you go in, oh, what are these DEXs? And you go and look them up, and their interfaces scare a lot of people away. I know, like I was saying before, how I don't use centralized exchanges, because order books and all that kind of stuff, those charts, everything like that just freaks me out and just makes me totally nervous. So I'm sure there's people that are just like me that much prefer, oh, I want to swap this for this and then press go, and it does it. That's what's, and that sounds like what you're kind of building inside a game structure, which sounds even better.
Yeah, because once you gamify it, it's much less intimidating, but you're also much more attracted to it, right? If I tell you, listen, come and swap every single day, right? I'm incentivizing you to do that. Doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. Doesn't matter if you're swapping A to B. No, it doesn't. But the only thing that matters is that you are getting this tiny incentive. And with that tiny incentive, right, you're becoming more engaged. So I'm telling you, listen, your assignment for today, and again, this is such a minor example, right? Swap from KDA to Hype. What does that mean? That means that you right now are getting a chance to actually understand what Hype is, right? And to so many other tokens on the Kadena blockchain. Not only making those, relevant to you because now you're holding them, even if you didn't know about them, also creating the opportunity to be earning tokens you haven't heard of previously in a gamified fashion. That usually brings adoption.
Yeah, definitely. Play to earn is definitely going to be the future. And even like with NFTs, a lot of people, when they look at NFT projects nowadays, look at the utility case and passive income and things like that come along with the NFTs. So it's good to see that, all of that stuff is going to be all part of the game in a very fun and simple way that, like you said, even like your niece or your granddaughter, or your daughter, or like someone under what I'm guessing probably as low as eight or maybe 6 to 8 years old could probably figure it out. Now that kids nowadays, 2 or 3 years old, they know how to work a cell phone, it seems.
Oh yeah. one might argue that that is not necessarily a positive thing, but it is what it is.
No, it is what it is, but it also comes down to the sense of, I also firmly believe that the parents of those children should be very much, watching what their kids are doing on those devices. And at the same time, they could also set up some kind of parental controls and maybe as well within the system. Maybe that'd be something down.
I can just say I'm happy that I don't have kids, and I do have a puppy, and that's more than enough for me these days. But yeah, it sounds legit.
For sure. Awesome. Now, I was looking a little bit too at the actual NFTs themselves, like all the different skins and different utility toys and like diamonds and pitchforks and all that kind of stuff that they have. You want to just go over a little bit too on how the NFTs, if I say buy, 5 or 6 of these NFTs, when the game is available to me, how these NFTs will be used by the user in the environment.
Of course. So the first thing I want to say is we have many different kinds of NFTs because we're all about interoperability, right? One thing doesn't necessarily need to equal another thing, right? But those two things can work extremely well together. So we got our miners who are the base NFTs. Their job is simple: to mine. What to mine, where to mine, how to mine, that's up to you. But their job is to mine. You go, you send them to the mines, they get rewards. Now, here comes the decision-making part of how do you maximize your yields and rewards, right? Do you focus right now on getting yourself the best type of equipment that boosts your strength? Do you focus right now on getting as many potions to try and maximize your stats? Do you focus on getting beer, ale to recharge your endurance? What is it that you do to maximize the best yield possible? Now, the good thing about this, and this is something that might bore some people, but the yields themselves are extremely unique because we're not providing one type of reward. We can provide about 15. And those rewards can be tokens, they can be NFTs, native to MoK and not native to MoK, which always creates the scenario in which there's something new to do. And that is part of our approach of being a gateway to the entire Kadena ecosystem. But to summarize, you get yourself a miner, you upgrade your miner, you get more rewards, and so on and so on and so on, when the rewards are ultimately sustainable. Because if they're not sustainable, there's no future to the protocol.
Yeah, definitely. So that's pretty much explains my answer right there. So I love the whole design of them as well. Like, I know everyone calls them hamsters, but I don't think they look like hamsters at all. I think they look more like a something unique. It's not really, I can't really put a name and animal to it. I wouldn't call it.
It's a capybara. It's a capybara.
Capybara.
And yes, it's a capybara.
Is that an actual animal?
It is, and it is an adorable animal. It's pretty unique to the Kadena ecosystem. It's actually a long-term symbol for Kadena. I'm not sure if you've seen, but it's mainly on Telegram. Most of the stickers have cappies in them for one reason or another. But I would love to say this. I'm an extremely, how can I say this without insulting anybody? I don't give a fuck about art, okay? I apologize, but that's the honest answer. I'm an honest guy. I love being honest. I don't give a damn about art. I don't care about art. I care about utility. But if you're doing something, you must do it right. So even if, personally, I don't care about art, it is important for me to make sure that the users that do care about art do get something pleasant to look at while they're interacting with it. Because anything less than the best we can actually produce is just not good enough.
Yeah. And like I said, right now, like NFTs started off as being, oh, look at these cool pictures, but now it's become so much more. People have become aware of NFTs and aware of what their actual capabilities are, and realize that, utility is more important. But art, you still, like you said, you still need that. Ooh, that's pretty. It's like I was a chef for 20 years, and presentation
Wow,
is huge. Yes, presentation is a huge part of your dish. You know,
I didn't know we
you
have
could have the
something in
best
common.
tasting. Oh yeah, you were a chef as well. You're in the
No, I
restaurant
just love
business.
food. I just love eating.
Oh. So, you know, like presentation is a lot. Like when you see something, it could taste the best tasting food you've ever tasted, but if it's just thrown on a plate in no real way, just flat, just blah, it's not going to be as appealing to you, whether it's tasty. So, like
Definitely.
presentation, like I said, like these definitely, you guys picked a very good art structure, and just looks like everything, you down to the little tiny tattoos and things that you can see, you know, really nailed it on the head for sure.
Sorry to disappoint, but we're getting rid of that tattoos.
Aww.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Okay, just to comment on that, a lot of people heard me say that a lot. I'm a big Ayn Rand fan. Form follows function, right? Form must always follow function. Everything about the design of MoK is meant to themselves. They might be pretty, yes, but they're built in a certain way. And the reason they're built in that certain way is for us to make sure that we are capable of having them modular and upgradable over a long period of time to always provide something new. The same with the game app itself, right? We got an amazing artistic team. Even if I don't like art, I'm still capable of admitting that. We got a good art team, right? An expensive art team. But we made a calculated decision not to be building a 3D protocol, right? A 3D metaverse. We decided to go for a 2D metaverse for the very simple reason that we know, okay, 3D sells more than 2D, but we know that we have absolutely no business telling people, hey guys, look what we're building. It's so sexy. Let's take $5 million from you guys and release something in 24. We don't want to do that, right? So the 2D map is also intentionally 2D to be able to scale as more projects get integrated into MoK.
That's good. That's very thinking forward. It's very definitely needed in this space because, like you said, those 3Ds and all these Decentraland and models and stuff, as more and more gets built onto it, it's just going to need more and more to run those systems for people to download them and all this kind of stuff. It's like to the point now where the main, like the new Call of Duty type games, you're looking at 100 gigabytes of space you need on your computer to download these games. Like that's ridiculous.
And it's just not, and let's admit it, it's not practical, right? I mean,
no, it's not.
Not to FUD anybody, but Decentraland sucks, right? Sandbox sucks, right? Other than being an overly hyped idea, there's no real value being produced. And if there's no real value being produced, then the systemic approach and the architecture of the project is faulty. It doesn't matter how much it's valued if it's overvalued.
For sure.
I'm sorry. I'm a bit angry. I get a bit passionate about these subjects.
No, that's quite all right. It's good to have passion about things. So let's turn that passion to what we're really here to talk about, and that is the upcoming IDO. I'm very excited. We got lots of people joined in now. We got some HyperDex people joining in as well. So I know you guys had a big AMA the other day and a big reveal of your alpha news. So I'm sure a lot of the people here have already looked into the allocations and all of that kind of stuff. But let's just run through it real quickly and let everyone know how this is going to work.
Awesome. So basically, Hypercent created an amazing system, a gamified system. And we love gamified systems because two things happen within that system. A is randomization, okay, and B, fairness. Randomization goes extremely well together with the matter of fairness because we don't like whales, right? And we're saying that as whales ourselves, right? I mean, I'm a relatively big holder in several projects on Kadena. And I know that if right now I suddenly need a lot of money and I want to dump my tokens, I know what I'm going to create when it comes to that economy. I don't want to go right now, sell something and dump the price 60%. It doesn't make any sense. And that usually happens if the approach is not fair. If the approach is not fair, you're going to hurt a lot of people. Now, it doesn't mean the people are not going to make money. It just means that when the first person ultimately decides to sell, you're going to screw everybody else over. So Hypercent created an amazing system in which it works this way. You got yourself hype, you stake your hype, and staking your hype allows you to either buy tickets that are cheaper or buy guaranteed allocations that are more expensive, but they guarantee you an allocation. And it works in a system based on diminishing returns. If I'm not mistaken, you can buy yourself a maximum of 5 guaranteed allocation and a maximum of 9 tickets. If I'm not mistaken, the total staking and the total hype you need to stake for that is about 9,700, 9,800 hype. And it's incredibly cheap when you're thinking about it, right? Because if you go to any Bluezilla launchpad, we're talking about having to hold 150, 500,000 right before the bear market started, where we're talking about sometimes 1.5 million just to get the maximum allocation. And even then, you wouldn't really get a fair allocation, right? So over here, we're talking about, I think, roughly $7,000, $8,000 towards getting the maximum possible allocation in the MoK IDO. And that's it, pretty much. So you can either have hype and stake it for either tickets or guaranteed allocations, or you can have a whitelist that guarantees you 1 allocation, or you can have both.
Awesome. So now the ticket system, I was listening to the AMA you guys had the other day as well. Now, if your ticket doesn't get picked in the first round, I heard there's like a kind of like a losers pool it goes into.
A lucky losers round. Yes.
A lucky losers round. So want to maybe just give a quick explanation about how that's going to work?
Yeah, definitely. So in the first round, you have those that got a whitelist. You got those that got guaranteed allocations by staking hype. And you have those that won with the lottery with their tickets. Okay? And the first round is calculated in the sense of, let's say, everybody that won purchases 100% of the allocation, and it never happens because never everybody purchases a 100% maximum allocation, right? It's almost statistically impossible, right?
Yeah.
What happens is after that round, the second round happens, and in the second round, those that actually bought tickets re-enter into the draw with a lower allocation. So if in the first round you had, let's say, $1 million divided across 1,000 people, technically 1,000 people could have bought $1,000 on average, right? But let's say only 700,000 was purchased. Now you got $300,000 moving on to the next round, and those that did not win in the first allocation get their tickets redrawn amongst themselves, and the allocation get distributed again between those individuals. The third round, in case there's any slippage or like a spillage, Andre calls it, they can buy in the third round. So in the third round, basically anybody who registered can continue buying in case it's not completely sold.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes much more sense.
It's a pretty
I like
system,
the idea too. It allows pretty much everyone to get a chance.
Yeah, and a fair chance.
There's a fair chance. Yeah, there's a stake. There's a different phase for each different thing, and if you get right in at the start, even if you don't, like if you just buy the tickets themselves, even if you don't win the first allocation, you're pretty much almost guaranteed in one of the next 2 phases to be able to be part of the IDO, which is great.
Definitely.
Awesome. I don't know if any of the other speakers, maybe someone from the Hypercent team wants to step in and maybe talk a little bit from their side, what Hypercent's maybe bringing to the table, and we can make this more of a round table.
Hi, Spaceman.
I know we got a couple people.
Hey, the Space Brother coming out.
MoK.
Welcome, everybody.
Hey, It is always good to listen KPN and mock AMAs, and kudos to you guys organizing such an event regularly. I can't thank enough to you guys to educate us with all the things going on. So first of all, thank you for that. And moving on, that mock IDO is one of the exciting thing personally for me. The reason is that I would like to say some backstory if you have time. So sorry for that. I will be get bit longer this time. So Mark is something like that. Personally, favorite project for me. The reason is that it's not because of that it is happening in Hypercent platform. It is happening because this is a favorite because I never like NFT in my life. I never bought NFT before. The first project I am going to honestly liking NFT, the gamify project and buying is Mark. That is because of the project and the door, the passion, what they are putting into it, what they are doing, that DeFi protocols in gamified environment. These things made interesting point and use cases. So first time I am a NFT boomer and I am going to be a NFT holder first time when Mark going to release the NFTs. And I'm going to I'm so much excited about this project because like out of a lot of projects are getting launched, MoK is one of the Miners of Kadenia is one of the best project that is going to be launched in this year. Like we had a good projects till now, but this will be something very different, the first of the kind in Kadena. So of course it is going to be help massive for our Kadena ecosystem. So for that there is another huge thanks for MoK team for doing this stuff. And if you notice that the one other good things about eco is that you call Dark or Alex. There are multiple name. He is in multiverse, right? So so eco. The best thing about eco is that this guy is literally everywhere in Kadena, and he just don't think like he is running a project. He helps everyone in the Kadena ecosystem. You see any project, you will be finding this person first before us. So he will be reaching out them. He will be helping out. This guy is so passionate. Like I've been learning a lot of things from this guy, and having a founder like him in a project of Mark is obviously a huge advantage. I would say that like not a professional point of view, personal point of view. Don't miss this project, guys. Get on and buy something, whatever you can. That's all. That is my thinking. So sum it up. The whatever we are like whatever the things which is going to happen in coming weeks. So stay tuned. Listen to the announcements. Follow the Twitter of Miners of Kadenia. If you wish, follow Hypercent and stay tuned. Any doubts you guys having, you can reach us. And our moderators, like we have very good moderators, including I am one of the moderators in Hypercent. We can help you out in any doubt you have, because Hypercent IDO is something is very different. Like it is not like a normal launchpad. Let's see that you will be buying that max allocation for you spend a lot of money for buying max allocation. Those type of bullshit is not here. So people will be surprised. What is this process? But for the first time, it is natural. If you confused, you can reach us out. We are happy to clarify you guys. Again, mock, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Spaceman. We love Spaceman. Every single time a Spaceman comes up, we're having fun. Two things. A, not financial advice. B, you got to stop complimenting me. People will end up thinking I'm a nice person. I'm not a nice person. We cannot afford anybody to think that.
you can be humble as whatever you want, but the thing is that my opinion I won't change, man.
I'm also not humble. I'm like the least humble person I know. I'm greedy. I'm selfish. I'm usually extremely angry.
You slave driver.
Very much not. I'm a slave driver, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of things like else?
That. So I think this is one of the good quality. Guys, listen to this guy. No one can be open as much as this guy. So again, one more reason for me to like him.
Another thing that you mentioned too is the fact that coming together, all of these projects need to come together and work together to build this ecosystem, because we're so early in the game that there's so much that needs to be done. So the more, many hands make lighter work. So I'm very happy to see all these people actually coming together, like you say, just supporting each other and being there. And, if you need help, figuring out a certain smart contract thing, I'm sure there's a project that's figured that out already that's more than willing to jump in and help. So it's great to see the Kadena ecosystem community do that.
And just to add to that, we at the MoK team, surprising that it's us, but it's us, right? We care incredibly about the concept of security, right? Incredibly. I think more than anything else, it's the number one thing we care about over here in this space, because I personally know what it's like to be managing a lot of money, right, as a fund. I know what it's like to control a lot of money and to have every single decision you do be extremely overwhelming when it comes to the importance of it. When you do things in a decentralized fashion under smart contracts, it must be perfect. And over here, I do have something to tell you guys, which is another bit of alpha, right? And this is alpha that's not going to be only used by MoK. It will be used by any other project building and launching on Kadena. Adam, mute yourself. You're typing so loudly. Holy cow. What the hell is
must
that
have
keyboard?
a mechanical keyboard. Keyboard.
Yeah, my bad.
Yep.
Okay, so what was I saying? I was saying something important. Oh, yes. Right. So I got some alpha, both when it comes to us and when it comes to every single other project on Kadena, that we just established a very, very relationship with one of the largest, I'm not going to mention names right now, one of the largest and most powerful auditing firms in the world for crypto and Web3. And they are now in the process of learning Pact. And they will be ready in a very, very short amount of time to start auditing Kadena projects. So hallelujah to all of us. We're going to have some safety.
Yes, that's something that is very much needed, as we've seen some of these bugs come up in some of the other systems that people have been working on. That, in my opinion, just in the system I've been helping with the development of crypto applications and stuff before, and yeah, there needs to be a lot more audit work being done on these things before they're released into the public, before we have something major happen and a lot of people lose a lot of money.
Definitely. I can tell that there was a period of time that, I swear to God, I've been in crypto a long time, right? In that specific moment in time, if the wrong person would have noticed what it is that we over here noticed, right, the entire ecosystem would have been completely screwed. But all of the projects in Kadena came together to solve it, fix it in a very, very quiet manner between ourselves, to make sure that that is not going to repeat itself. And ever since then, we've had a thorough walkthrough, not only in our code, but a lot of other codes on Kadena, to make sure that the ecosystem is not in jeopardy.
Perfect. Yeah, it's like I always say, just many hands make lighter work. So the more eyes you have on something before it actually is released to the public is always going to be the better. But at the same time, you have to have trustworthy people who are going to do a thorough audit and aren't going to be like, oh yeah, that's fine, and then save an exploit for themselves down the road, as there has been bad actors in this space throughout the past 10 years or so. But yeah, it's great to hear that you guys are teaming up with a great auditing system, because that'll not only bring more value to not just your project, but like you said, all projects on the Kadena ecosystem.
Definitely.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, you guys have been definitely working hard, and it's good to see lots of other projects definitely out there are kind of almost spinning their wheels at development just because of how early we are in the game. So the more people that are willing to step up and, you know, present these tools and education for the community, the better. So yeah, I definitely kudos to MoK for that. And I'm very excited to see like what can be done in the form of a gamified system. Like it'd be cool like to have little I'm just kind of trying to imagine what the actual game itself would be like when I'm playing it, of just like going on maybe little quests to learn things, like a quest to learn about how to mine Kadena, and you actually get a little bit for doing it, like you said, you know, play to earn. But it is also educational at the same time, which is something that's very much needed in this system for sure.
I cannot in good faith say it's educational, but I will maybe compare it to something different, right? Imagine if we say education is teaching somebody how to drive. In our case, it's driving for you, right? We'll put you in the passenger seat and we're just driving with you, and we're showing you, hey, this is how it's done. It's not that difficult. What was that?
Oh. Not sure. Let's just keep moving forward.
Yeah. So it's
someone got a little excited.
Not exactly teaching you, and it's more towards doing the work for you, but work that you have never done before, to just show you that it's not really intimidating, and that way, incentivize you to be participating in things that everybody, in my opinion, should be participating in, because this is crypto. The idea of crypto is decentralized finance. You're supposed to be your own bank, right? Not only controlling your own money, but being able to borrow, lend, provide liquidity, trade. All of those things you're supposed to know how to do. And many of us are only exposed to just one of those things, which is doing swaps. Now, doing swaps is amazing. It's great. But there's so much more to do, because the idea is, how do we make value? How do we create value? And value, again, is not created out of thin air. It's a transition. It's a transition of time, of effort, of means into the actual creation of value.
For sure. Having things like LPs built right in, things where people can make their money work for them, will definitely be, you know, like you said, people are just kind of used to the whole, oh, I trade coin A for coin B. But like there's so much more that is involved with decentralized finance that just needs to be all brought in under a simplified umbrella system. And then people will just be like, oh, this is amazing. You know, why haven't I been doing this my whole life? I don't need to use banks anymore. The banks.
Exactly.
Get
exactly.
That
is something that I think, and that is something that I think Kadena desperately needs, right? Especially if we can make these things seamless, right? It's going to be good. Okay, I mean,
it's like
to give you an example, DeFi Kingdoms, right? DeFi Kingdoms was basically the bread and butter of the Harmony network, right? And we're better than DeFi Kingdoms. Told you, Spaceman, I'm not humble. I told you I'm not humble.
Okay, we will definitely argue about this point later.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a new system that we move towards, because a lot of people don't realize that when you put your money into a bank, they're doing exactly the same things with your money that we're talking about right now. They're taking your money and putting them into LPs and things and making money off of your money. That's like when, for the longest time, I never kept any money in the bank. Ever since like around 2008, I stopped using banks. I cashed out my paychecks as soon as I got them and everything. And one day the bank manager came up to me and said, "We notice you don't keep money with us. How can we make that, make that better for you?" And I said, "That's very simple. Don't charge me a single cent to use any of your services." And he's like, "Well, we can't do that unless you hold, a certain amount of money in your bank account." And I said, "Well, no. The way I see it is I put $1 in my bank account. You turn around, give the guy behind me $10. and then net all of that money right into your pocket and then put the dollar back in my account. I'm like, so why would I pay you to make money with my money? If anything, you should be paying me to put money in your bank account. You know, and even the bank manager looked me right in the eye and was like, "You're correct, bye-bye," and just walked away. He knew that I knew what I was talking about. And like, that's what we need to do as people, to step up, take control of your money, and use these DeFi services. Make your money work for you.
Absolutely.
So
I'm
very excited.
I have 3 questions, if I may ask Eco about it. Can I?
Of course.
Yeah. There are a couple of questions people generally asking. Might be some people also wanted to ask this. So the question is that about staking. So you guys mentioned already staking will be available within a month or so from the TGE. Is that right?
Staking is already available, technically.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like something we need to develop. We already developed it. It's already ready. A lot of the things we have are already ready. We don't want to we don't want to have anybody wait for anything that they don't need to wait for, right? But based on our tokenomics, we thought it would be smarter to first let the market do its course to stabilize a bit, and a month after TGE, release the staking functionality. So exactly 1 month after the TGE itself, everybody will be able to start staking their MoK with the highest APY on Kadena.
Yeah, my question is next about that only. See, I won't ask you how much is the API because it is not good for me to ask you right now. But I will be asking you what is the highest API right now. I don't know that.
The highest. Sorry,
what is the highest API
highest
going
APY on Kadena, or what's the highest APY at all?
No. I am asking. You said that we will the highest APY in Kadena Eco, right? Once the staking started. So I mean to ask that what is the current highest? Which project and what is the percentage? Do you know anything?
Yeah, of course. First of all, there's only. I mean, technically, it depends, right? I mean, you got 2 projects that you can stake right now, right? So let's check right now if we lock Babe. Okay, so actually, I'm wrong. We're not the highest, right? Well, technically, we are the. Okay, basically, you got Babe from Babena Finance. Thanos' certificate of deposit project that he gives 83% APY, right? But that is something that's tricky because there's almost no liquidity over there, so it doesn't really matter because you're not going to be able to sell for that APY. The second is a Katie launch. Katie launch has a 13.3% APY.
Okay. So
imagine between those areas, between 13.3 and about 100. Who knows?
I think I'm running my imaginations right now. Okay, I am getting pretty good idea about that. My next question is this one. See, I have been a part of lot of DeFi. Basically, that staking tends to dump on the project lately in the DeFi.
What?
Yeah, the same thing. But right now, like how the staking will be in MoK, right? Is that that you have to stake for a particular constant period of time, or you can stake and unstake anytime?
No. So 2 things. A, you're not forced to lock your KDA, your MoK, right?
Okay.
It's not like you lock for a month or you lock for a year. You can stake your MoK today, withdraw it a minute later, withdraw it a week later. I don't care. Second thing, there's 0 penalties for unlocking, right?
Okay.
Why? 2 reasons. A, I said so. B, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of penalizing people for wanting to have control of their money, right? I mean, Chris just spoke
It's
about
their
that,
money.
having control of your money, right? Why would I charge you to unlock your money? Why would I tell you, no, you must stake for a month? No, I don't want to do that. You want to take your money a day later, right? Sell it, do that. It's your money. It's your decision, right? And projects will only succeed once they actually understand that value cannot be manipulated, right? You cannot force somebody, right, to get rid of their money and you hope, okay, right now, how do I create value? Oh, I make sure that people cannot sell. No, that is not how you create value. That is not how you make people profitable. You make people profitable by always giving them a use case. If you cannot give people a use case, what are you even building, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's 75% of the crypto market you just named.
That's 98% of the crypto
Even
market.
more, yeah.
98%
Exactly.
of the crypto market is about trying to
just
convince
useless
people
coins.
not to sell, right? So, hey, no wonder right now crypto is crashing. Crypto is crashing right now because everything is just so hollow. I don't want to be hollow. MoK doesn't want to be hollow. MoK wants to create
It's like the stock
real
market.
value.
It's like what's killing everything is what's killing crypto and the stock market at the same time is meme stuff, quite honestly. Meme coins, meme stocks, people betting on things that have absolutely no use case, nothing behind them other than here, buy this. And people are falling for it. It's sad. People you can't. Yeah, sure. If you're in the know and you get in and out quick enough, you can turn a good buck with these coins. But they're really just made to just dump on everyone else.
There's another place in which you can make a quick buck, and it's called Las Vegas, right? It depends on your risk profile, but we don't necessarily want to bring such a high level of risk, right? When being a conservative DeFi app is good, right? Because we actually create a stable growth, right? And in this period of time, people need a hedge on their money, as you said.
Yeah. And hearing that you're not going to penalize people, like that's one thing I see about a lot of these staking platforms and things. You have to stake for a minimum amount of time. B, you can't withdraw within 3 months of that time, and if you do, you're gonna lose 1 to 5% of your holdings, and it's just like, but why? Like that's not the whole point of decentralization. You're turning decentralization around.
I'll tell you why. Because they're incentivizing you not to sell, right? They're incentivizing you not to sell by penalizing you if you do. Oh, you want to sell? Hey, that's all good, but hey, you got to pay me 5% of your money. The 5%, that goes to everybody else who's so nice and complacent, right? Because they're doing exactly what it is that you want them to do, which is not touch the money, right? Because the entire goal is let's create a supply squeeze by making sure that people do not sell, right? And they only buy. But that's not how value is created, because once people do ultimately say enough is enough and they do sell, well, that's painful, right? So you got to enable commerce, right? In one of the first AMAs we had, somebody asked me, right, how will you make sure people do not sell? And I'm like, why the hell would I want to do that, right? Imagine if somebody came to MoK, invested $1,000, right? He turned $1,000 into $5,000. Why would I not want them to take some of the money back home, buy himself a new iPhone, take his girlfriend to lunch, right? Do something with that money. It's much better than just hodling wealth without actually enjoying wealth, which is something all of us need to do, right?
Yeah, that's definitely good points. Yeah, people need to just step up and realize that, there's other ways to do business. It's not always about, what's good for the few is not always good for the many.
Yeah, and that is really excellent point, Eco. And one thing I want to ask that will there be a DAO in the MoK? I know that you've been discussing lately with a lot of AMA about DAOs, but I just want to know that is there a DAO going to be happen, and if so, what are the powers the DAO will have?
Okay, so I'm going to begin by saying I don't like DAOs. Okay? Again, I'm an honest person. I don't like DAOs. Why do I not like DAOs? Because DAOs, 9 times out of 10, look at Solon, right, are a manipulation, right? It's a false pretense of a democracy. It's a false facade. So we're not going to publish a DAO until we manage to get it right. And with this, I can tell you honestly, after all consideration, MoK will either have 0 DAOs or most likely 2 DAOs, right? But never, under no circumstance, 1 DAO, right? Why? 1 DAO must be catered towards matters of DeFi, finances, yields, and so on. The second DAO must be catered more towards play to earn, gameplay, additional elements to be implemented into the protocol, more protocol integrations. The reason why we're doing that is because we understand things. And we understand that if right now you're a whale that has $500,000 of MoK, you do not care what NFTs are added. You care about the yields and the staking rewards you get. We got to take care of you because without those whales, everybody else is not going to become profitable over time. But we do also understand that if right now the only thing you do, the only thing you care about is what's the next expansion that's going to come to MoK, what cool NFTs, how will I be able to be a bit more profitable on my daily mining, right? That individual does not care about the yields of the stakers because that doesn't interest him any one bit. So the best way for us to actually approach that equation is create 2 separate DAOs. 1 DAO for the staking part and for the finances part has diminishing returns on the amount of MoK you actually have to make sure that no abuse can actually happen on the protocol. The second DAO, or gamified play to earn part of the DAO, is actually going to have multiplier on your votes, right? And that's going to work based on your miner level. If you have a level 1 miner, you have 1 vote. If you have a level 7 miner, you have 7 votes, right? And depends on the amount of NFTs you have. The main reason why we're doing that is because we want to penalize proof of stake and we want to support and encourage proof of work. And it's a small little analogy of it. Because if you stake, you just put your money and you go away, right? But if you mine continuously and you participate in the play to earn, right? Well, you're actually participating in that constantly and you're working towards making yourself an income. So yeah, that's pretty important for us.
That's really a brilliant plan, Eco. Either 0 or go for the all-in. That's a great approach.
Oh yeah, and again, I'm saying this is an extremely tight balance that you gotta, walk over. It's a tightrope.
And like you were saying, DAOs can almost kind of be like proof of stake, where they just tend towards the rich and the whales seem to control it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
As we've seen with Sol, as we've definitely seen this past little while with Sol.
And we can see it in many, many, many different places.
Yeah. No, I definitely like the whole idea of having definitely 2 different DAOs, if anything, because like you can't have one creating the ecosystem as 2 different platforms, like you said. It has the finance side, and then it has the gamified side. So it definitely will need 2 deciding parties.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else want to step up and feel like contributing? We got some time left here. We'll take some questions maybe if anyone has any questions about the IDO. If you have anything else as well that you want to add there, Dar?
I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. If you guys ask me something, I'll answer.
Yeah, feel free if you aren't a speaker already to send in a request. I know I definitely learned a lot more. Sure.
Oh, man. Awesome. Okay, so I'm proud to say that MoK is 9 followers away from 10,000 followers on Twitter.
Wow, that's quite the milestone.
Now, to me, it doesn't really mean anything because I really don't understand that part, and I'm counting on our CMO to take care of those things, right? And Adam today, right? But yeah, it turns out 10,000 is a big milestone.
Wow, that's
Right,
It's
exactly.
huge. It's huge. We've done
Yeah,
so well. We've got such a
993
loyal
is.
community. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, go on.
That's awesome. Yeah, we just passed 7,500 ourselves a little while ago, so it's good to see the channel's growing at exponential rates.
Yeah, it's really good to see.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we've got a pretty damn amazing community, to be honest. I talk to them every day, and I consider a lot of them to be friends as well. So, I've met loads of people, so that's good.
Your Telegram channel's always bumping, so I'm always watching.
The best thing is that the followers the mock got the 10K they are going to get. This is not something like that shitty marketing, that it is built organically. I know that how much Eco and mock team has been in the AMAs lately, how much work they have put. I think it is the result is the work what they did till now.
I think we kind of ruined that today.
Yeah, wait
destroyed all of that.
wait till you see the schedule for next week. Oh my goodness, it's crazy.
Holy, wow.
You're gonna die, Echo, when I send you this. I've been silently working away during this space, and we've filled up the week.
That is where you're wrong, yeah. That is where you're wrong. I'm already dead inside. Have been dead inside for about 5-6 years already.
Yeah, well, we're doubling up on his AMAs because obviously there's not much time left now before this IDO. So we'll probably be scheduling 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 AMAs during a day with different projects and communities. So watch out for that. I'll be dropping some details about the schedule, in a couple of days' time.
Have fun.
Yeah, you guys have been going hard the last few days. I've been noticing almost 1 or 2 AMAs every day.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting close to our IDO, so we got to increase exposure. Marketing is important.
Yeah.
You cannot ignore that, right? But the most important thing is that even after the IDO itself, we're going to continue doing weekly AMAs, right? And we owe it to our community to continue being in communication with them.
Yep, totally. And we're going to deliver that anyway with a series of Mock Friday events, and there's also another type of discussion that I'm sort of working on at the moment. We'll get a sort of panel discussion together, talk about set subjects for each sort of panel discussion, and work from there. But that's the sort of idea anyway. But I need to reach out to a few more people to get some more speakers on board.
And I understand that you guys are going to be speaking at the Kadena Talks today on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
Kadena Lifestyles.
Yes.
So
and I'm so excited about that. And I'm honestly in love with Damian from Kadena Lifestyle for doing that. It's really doing something awesome for the Kadena ecosystem.
And
really more people need to see that.
Yeah. For guys that don't know, yeah, he is. He's such a top guy. He's Damian. He's really, really nice. I spoke to him a couple of times, and he's so helpful, humble, and he's so charismatic. So you'll see when you speak to him. You've obviously spoke to him anyway, but he'll get me fine. He's a top guy. So I'm looking forward.
Yeah, we had a good chat. Yeah, we had a good chat last week, I believe. So, yeah, well, you guys are definitely welcome always over here at KPN. We always just, we've already shared calendars. We definitely keep track of each other. So, definitely be setting up more things in the future. That's for sure. We're always open.
Amen.
Yeah. And
awesome. Well, if anyone
might be in touch to arrange something on a more regular sort of weekly sort of space,
for sure.
Sort of collaborate with maybe Hypercent as well and see if we can get them on board as well with it.
Well, I'll try to jump into more of your Friday spaces that you guys hold every Friday.
Yeah, that'd be
join on top of the conversations there.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, look forward to
it. Can we?
Awesome. Well,
I was just about to ask Adam. I mean, is there any way that we can move Mock Friday to Thursdays? I mean, over here in Israel,
you've got a really valid point.
Day off. right?
Yeah,
Technically,
exactly.
that's the day in which you go out and you do stuff with people. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go out and do stuff. I'm just going to stay home and sleep, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're totally right. I thought about that before, and we probably would get a little bit more exposure, a bit more engagement if we moved it to a Thursday. 'Cause Friday sort of afternoons, people are finishing work and they're going out for a night out and stuff. So we might get a bit more engagement. So we've been struggling to sort of like push over sort of like 40 listeners on those spaces. So yeah, it's something to think about.
Actually, it's pretty funny. Today I spoke with our CMO and COO, and I told them, listen, once we're done with the IDO, right, I'm going to sleep until 9, and don't you dare wake me up, right? I earned it. I earned waking up at 9.
But you won't be able to have that for too long, because you can't be resting up for too long. We've got more stuff to do. There's a lot more stuff.
You tell me.
It won't stop. It won't stop.
Yeah, and in a bit we're gonna be announcing a few more things, and then you guys will know exactly how much work we have to do. Right, I'm not going to be surprised if until the end of 2020, what year is this? 22, right? It's 22.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if until the end of 2022, we're going to be 25, 30 people in the MoK team.
Sounds like a good team.
Sounds like an expensive team, but a team that does stuff.
You got a really good team though. Awesome. We've got a top crew in the MoK team. We've got some really top guys working for us.
You have no idea what it's like to have a team made out of, CEOs and CTOs and CFOs. Like every single person in the team is like a top executive in his field. It's so damn annoying.
Well, props to you. You're pulling everyone together. You're keeping everyone focused. You're a good leader for everyone. We're really privileged to have you, mate. We are. Regardless of the amount of grief you may give us, but you're exactly what we need. So
yeah. It's like it's something that everybody needs to know. The MoK community is extremely fun. The MoK team is not, right? Being in the MoK team is like being I'm really gonna be careful with my words. It's like being in a chain gang, okay? It's not fun. It's not easy. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes you gotta wake up in the middle of the night to do stuff. But hey,
there's a poor pack developer of Mike. He's a lead pack developer. He hears loud noises and it makes him cower in a corner, thinking someone's going to get him.
That's surprisingly accurate.
I think that's a great hallmark for the team, right? The team has to work hard for making the community happy. I think in a way that is a very good point.
Yeah. No, the team doesn't need to work hard to make the community happy. The happiness of the community is not the goal. The happiness of the community is a side effect. The goal is to be building something. And if the job is done and we build something good, then the side effect will happen, which is the users will ultimately be happy, right? So the job is to build and to build well.
To the builders of MoK.
Awesome. Anyone else have anything to say before we start to wrap things up here? I think that this has been a very, very good talk, very educational. I know I've learned a lot more about Miners of Kadenia today, so I'm very excited about the upcoming IDO, which will be on the 30th, so make sure you guys get ready for that. Make sure you also go check out their webpage, the MoK.io. Follow them on Twitter. Join their Telegram channel and Discord. They have it all, so make sure you join it all. And thank you guys very much for joining me today. A very awesome call.
Thank you very much for having us.
Awesome. Like I said, you guys are more than welcome anytime. Just shoot us a message, and we will set up more of these awesome talks.
MoK.
Mok Mok.
Mok Mok. Thank you very much for every guys and everyone out there listening. Thank you very much for joining us today. Another great AMA from KPM and Miners of Kadenia. So thank you everyone for joining and have a great day.
Cheers.
Take care, everyone.
That wraps it up for another amazing AMA. Thank you very much for listening. Here at KPN, we strive to bring an open platform for projects being built on Kadena to present themselves to the community. Please ensure to do your own research on each project before investing. Also ensure to follow all our social media, from Twitter to subscribing to our weekly newsletter, to ensure you are up to date on everything KDA related. You can find the links directly on our SoundCloud profile page. Thank you and take care.